Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're all about getting straight to the core of a topic, fast.
Yep, using the sources you provide.
And today, we're looking at something really key for anyone's career journey.
Yeah,
Being adaptable and, optimistic.
exactly. We've got some great material, especially the story about someone named Alex. It really lays it out.
It does. So the mission today is to pull out those practical insights from Alex's story, those sort of aha moments about adaptability and optimism that you, listening, can actually use.
Right, whether you're just starting out or thinking about a big change, making it relatable.
Okay, let's dive in. First big hurdle, starting the job search. That feeling of being totally lost, like stepping onto a huge playground and not knowing any of the games.
Oh yeah, that uncertainty it can be really overwhelming.
But the sources suggest adaptability and optimism are huge here. 3 benefits, right?
First, being adaptable means you're willing to explore. Alex didn't just say, I want to work with animals.
Right. They thought about helping people, using computers,
Yeah.
broader stuff.
Exactly. It opens you up. You might find something amazing you hadn't considered.
Second benefit,
Yeah.
trying different ways to find a job.
Yeah. Not just like spamming online applications. Alex talked to people, networked a bit.
Which is smart, because relying on just one method, you miss things, right?
Totally. Some jobs pop up through conversations, not just job boards. The adaptability in your search method.
And the third benefit, that optimism factor, believing you'll succeed eventually.
That inner mantra Alex had, like, this might take time, but I've got this. That's crucial. It keeps you going.
Okay, so flip side, what are the risks if you don't have that adaptability and optimism early on?
Well, the first big one is missing out. Tunnel vision.
Like Alex only looking at animal shelters and missing a great pet store job.
Exactly. You limit yourself without realizing it.
And the search method thing again.
Yeah. If you only look online, you miss the job your neighbor mentions, right? Ineffective if you're not adaptable.
Makes sense. And the biggest risk, I guess, is just giving up.
Discouragement. Alex understood that just feeling sad wasn't going to help find a job. Without optimism, it's easy to stall.
So lessons learned from this first phase.
I think the first is, it's okay not to know everything at the start. Really.
Just be willing to learn.
Yeah. Alex realized everyone starts somewhere. Takes the pressure off.
Okay, second lesson.
Try different search methods. Don't stick to one thing. And ask for help. Talk to people. Networking works.
And third, that positive attitude isn't just fluff.
Not at all. It's a tool. Remembering your strengths like Alex did fuels perseverance. It's powerful.
Okay, so Alex gets going, but then rejection hits, the no answers, like not getting the part in the school play, stings, right?
Definitely. It can really knock your confidence.
So how do adaptability and optimism help with these rejection blues?
Well, adaptability lets you reframe it. It's not just a no. It's feedback.
Like Alex thinking about their interviews, figuring out what to do better next time.
Exactly. Learning from it. Turning a negative into, well, data.
I like that. And optimism keeps you applying.
Yeah. You're less likely to let a few no's stop you completely. Alex kept going. It prevents those roadblocks from becoming dead ends.
And it helps maintain your self-worth, doesn't it? Not taking it too personally.
Remembering your skills, your value, separate from this one outcome. Alex seemed to grasp that.
What about the risks of not having these traits when facing rejection?
Oh, the biggest is taking it personally. Feeling like you're the failure, not just that it wasn't the right fit.
Yeah, that's a dangerous spiral.
Alex tried hard not to do that. And if you take it too hard, you get scared.
Right. Scared to apply for more jobs.
Exactly. You limit your own opportunities because you fear more rejection.
And you might start focusing only on what you think you did wrong, your limitations.
Right, instead of your strengths. Alex consciously focused on what they could do.
So, lessons from dealing with rejection.
First, remember, it happens to everyone. Seriously. Even super successful people get rejected.
Knowing that helps, right? Takes the sting out a bit.
Definitely. Second, cliche but true, every no gets you closer to a yes.
You got to keep that perspective, like Alex seeing it as a step forward.
And third, self-compassion. Be kind to yourself.
Like Alex doing fun things to stay positive.
Yeah.
Recharge those batteries.
Exactly. Remember your worth. Don't let the process grind you down.
Okay, moving on. Another tricky spot. Skills confusion.
Yeah.
Like, what am I actually good at?
Yeah, especially starting out or changing fields, that uncertainty is real.
How do our key themes help here? Adaptability.
It makes you willing to try new stuff. That's often how you find hidden talents.
Like Alex volunteering and discovering they were good at organizing.
Perfect example. You step outside your routine, you learn things about yourself.
And optimism helps you see skills from, like, anywhere, not just jobs.
Right. Alex realized planning a school event gave them leadership skills. Life experience counts. It broadens your definition of skill.
Looking beyond the resume bullet points.
Mm-hmm. And optimism helps you believe you have valuable skills, even without tons of work experience. Valuing contributions at home, school, wherever.
So what happens if you lack these traits when trying to figure out your skills?
You might overlook stuff, focus only on grades like Alex initially did, and miss teamwork skills, creativity.
Things that aren't on transcript.
Exactly. And pessimism can make you just give up on looking. If you doubt you have skills, why bother reflecting? Impatience sets in.
And that leads to underestimating yourself, lacking confidence.
Yeah, which shows when you try to present yourself. Believing in your potential, like Alex learned to, is crucial.
Okay, key lessons for identifying skills.
Number 1, everyone has skills, period. The trick is finding them. Be open.
Like broader than just job skills.
Right. Second, pay attention to what you enjoy. Passions often point to natural talents.
It's like Alex enjoying problem solving.
Mm-hmm. What you gravitate towards often uses your strengths.
And third,
Try new things. Seriously. Volunteering. Hobbies. It's essential for uncovering those hidden gems. Alex's volunteer work was a great example.
that makes a lot of sense. Okay, next scenario. The industry switcheroo. Feeling stuck, wanting a change, like switching instruments.
Yeah, that can feel huge. Daunting.
So adaptability and optimism. How do they help navigate a potential career change?
Adaptability opens your mind to where your skills could fit, not just your current industry.
Alex saw their communication skills could work lots of places.
Exactly. Skills are transferable. Adaptability helps you see that.
And optimism helps you value your past experience, even if it seems unrelated.
Mm-hmm. Alex's customer service skills helped in tech. You gain something from every experience. Optimism lets you see the value.
And believes you can learn new things for the new field.
Yes, that I can learn this attitude Alex had. Confidence in your ability to grow is vital.
Risks of not being adaptable or optimistic here. Feeling trapped.
Definitely. Feeling stuck in a job you hate because you don't see a way out, that's a big risk.
And failing to see those transferable skills.
Yeah, thinking, my skills only work here. That narrow view Alex initially had limits your options massively.
And just resisting change altogether.
Right. That can't do attitude. Fear stops you from exploring potentially way more fulfilling paths. Adaptability and optimism fight that inertia.
So lessons for making a career switch.
First, know that it's normal. Lots of people change careers at all stages. Alex found inspiration in those stories. It's not failure, it's evolution.
Takes the pressure off knowing it's common.
It does. Second, view your skills like building blocks. Versatile, adaptable, you can use them in different combinations, different industries.
I like that analogy. And third,
Lifelong learning. Embrace it. Being willing to learn new things is what opens doors. Always.
and we saw this play out with Alex across so many different jobs, didn't we? Library, coaching kids, community garden, online gaming support, even programming.
Yeah, it's striking how the same core principles applied everywhere. Adaptability, learning the library system, changing practice plans, dealing with game updates, tackling new code. Optimism, helping patrons, encouraging kids after a loss, finding solutions for frustrated gamers, believing they could solve coding problems.
People skills, organization, problem-solving, leadership. They use them all, just adapted to the context.
Exactly. It proves these aren't job-specific traits, they're success traits wherever you apply them.
Okay, let's talk interviews. The interview maze can feel like being the new kid at school trying to make friends.
Yeah, nerves are totally normal. Big time.
So adaptability and optimism in the interview itself, how do they help?
Adaptability pushes you to prepare in different ways. Not just rehearsing answers, but maybe role-playing, really researching the company, like Alex did, being flexible in your prep.
Covering your bases, feeling ready for anything.
And then in the interview, being adaptable means you can roll with punches. Unexpected questions don't throw you off completely.
Like Alex learning to pause, think, not panic.
Exactly. Listen carefully, stay present, and optimism. That comes across as confidence, enthusiasm.
Smiling, showing you're excited about the role, that makes a difference.
A huge difference. Positive energy is attractive.
Risks of lacking these during interviews. Lack of prep.
Yeah, if you're pessimistic, you might think, why bother preparing? I won't get it anyway. Or nerves just paralyze you. Preparation is key, as Alex understood.
And getting flustered by curveball questions.
If you're not adaptable, yeah, you freeze up. Learning to pause and think is a skill.
And just projecting negativity, coming across as uninterested.
Even if you're qualified, a downbeat attitude can sink your chances. Positive energy matters.
Okay, interview takeaways.
Preparation builds confidence. Simple as that. Do your homework on the company, the role.
Reduces that anxiety.
For sure. Second, be authentic. Let your personality show. They're hiring a person, not just a resume.
Be genuine, like Alex aimed for.
Right. And third, remember, it's a two-way street. You're interviewing them too. Is it a good fit for you?
Aim for a real conversation, not just an interrogation.
Exactly. Engage. Ask good questions.
All right, let's tackle the often awkward part. Money matters. Negotiating salary. Feels like pricing your own lemonade stand, doesn't it?
Yeah. Uncertainty about your worth, how to ask. Very common.
Adaptability and optimism's role here.
Adaptability means doing your research. What's the typical range for this role, this industry, your experience level?
Like Alex investigating fair pay. Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. You need data. And adaptability also means adjusting your strategy. How you negotiate might differ based on the company culture, the vibe you get. Polite but firm, like Alex.
Right, not a rigid script. And optimism.
That's the confidence piece, believing in your value, that your skills deserve fair compensation. That belief lets you make the request assertively, not aggressively.
You have to believe it yourself first.
Risks if you don't have these, except in the first offer.
Yeah, just taking whatever they give you, even if it's low. Alex knew negotiation was okay, expected even. Not asking could cost you a lot.
For sure. And the fear of losing the offer altogether if you negotiate.
That stops a lot of people.
Yeah.
Alex pushed past that fear. It's usually unfounded if you're reasonable and professional.
Right. And undervaluing yourself. Lack of optimism leads to accepting less than you're worth because you don't truly believe you deserve more.
So, lessons for salary negotiation.
Know your market value. Research, research, research. Understand what your skills command.
Crucial first step.
Second, remember, negotiation is normal. Expected, even. It's not rude to respectfully discuss salary.
Getting over that mental hurdle is important.
Very. And third, self-belief is your fuel. Confidence in your value makes the whole conversation easier and more effective. Optimism helps project that confidence.
Okay, final section. Staying happy long term. Keeping motivation alive. Avoiding burnout. Sometimes after you land the job, there's a bit of a now what feeling.
Right. Getting the job is one thing, staying fulfilled is another challenge entirely.
How do adaptability and optimism help with long-term satisfaction?
Adaptability keeps you open to growth within the role, seeking new challenges, learning new skills, like Alex did. It prevents stagnation.
Keeps things interesting.
Exactly. And seeing changes, new projects, new bosses, reorganizations as opportunities, not threats, that's adaptability. It helps you roll with the inevitable shifts.
Less stress, more growth. And optimism.
Helps you focus on the positives, the purpose behind the work, remembering why you're there, the contribution you make, like Alex did. That sustains motivation.
Connecting to the meaning. What are the risks of losing these traits once you're in the job?
Boredom, stagnation. If you're not adaptable, not open to learning, you just flatline.
And fighting change.
It leads to stress, unhappiness. Resisting what's happening usually just makes you miserable. A more adaptable approach is healthier.
And a negative mindset overall just drains you, right? Leads to burnout.
Totally. Optimism helps buffer that. Prioritizing well-being breaks, like Alex did, that's part of maintaining a positive, sustainable outlook.
So, final lessons for long-term career happiness.
Fundamentally, try to find work you enjoy where you can use your strengths. Reflect on that fulfillment regularly.
Makes sense. Alignment matters.
Second, keep learning. Always seek challenges. It keeps things dynamic, vital for long-term engagement.
Never stop growing.
Right. And third, maintain that positive outlook. Focus on your goals. Celebrate small wins. It sustains motivation and satisfaction through the ups and downs.
Wow. So Alex's journey really does show it, doesn't it? From square one uncertainty to, success and stability, adaptability and optimism were like the twin engines.
They really were constant threads through every challenge and transition.
So for everyone listening, think about Alex. How can you bring more adaptability, more optimism into your life? Not just job searching, but maybe schoolwork, hobbies, dealing with everyday curveballs.
Because, like you said earlier, these aren't just job skills. They're life skills, really. Being adaptable, staying optimistic. It helps you navigate everything with more resilience, more positivity.
It empowers you. So here's to embracing change, believing in yourself, and finding your own path to success. Thanks for taking the deep dive with us today. Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're all about getting straight to the core of a topic, fast.
Yep, using the sources you provide.
And today, we're looking at something really key for anyone's career journey,
Yeah,
being adaptable and, optimistic.
exactly. We've got some great material, especially the story about someone named Alex. It really lays it out.
It does. So the mission today is to pull out those practical insights from Alex's story, those sort of aha moments about adaptability and optimism that you, listening, can actually use.
Right, whether you're just starting out or thinking about a big change, making it relatable.
Okay, let's dive in. First big hurdle, starting the job search. That feeling of being totally lost, like stepping onto a huge playground and not knowing any of the games.
Oh yeah, that uncertainty it can be really overwhelming.
But the sources suggest adaptability and optimism are huge here. 3 benefits, right?
First, being adaptable means you're willing to explore. Alex didn't just say, I want to work with animals.
Right. They thought about helping people, using computers,
Yeah.
broader stuff.
Exactly. It opens you up. You might find something amazing you hadn't considered.
Second benefit, trying different ways to find a job.
Yeah. Not just like spamming online applications. Alex talked to people, networked a bit.
Which is smart, because relying on just one method, you miss things, right?
Totally. Some jobs pop up through conversations, not just job boards. Adaptability in your search method.
And a third benefit, that optimism factor. Believing